Donnie Yen was born on July 27, 1963 in Guangzhou, Guangdong, China, into a family deeply rooted in the cultural and artistic traditions of Chinese martial arts. His mother, Baosim Mark, was a respected Tai Chi and Wudong internal arts grandmaster and founder of the Chinese Wushu Institute in Boston, Massachusetts. His father, Kleister Yen, was a violinist and deeply involved in musical training during Yen's early childhood. When Donnie was just 2 years old, his family moved to Hong Kong, where he spent his early childhood surrounded by the fast-paced environment of one of Asia's thriving cultural hubs. Hong Kong in the 1960s and early 1970s was characterized by a vibrant film industry, a place where kung fu masters like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Sammo Hung were capturing global imagination with their unique blend of athletic filmmaking and martial philosophy. At age 11, Yen moved again, this time across the globe to Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States. This relocation would prove formative. Boston was home to a diverse Chinese community and offered a gateway into Western culture while preserving an appreciation for Eastern traditions. Under the tutelage of his mother, Yen began studying Tai Chi Chuan at a very young age, training that would become the foundation of his physical discipline. He also learned piano during his childhood, a skill nurtured by his parents who believed in the importance of artistic education. These early experiences laid the groundwork for Yen's philosophical understanding of movement, timing, and rhythm, all qualities essential to both music and martial arts. Unlike many performers trained purely for stage combat, Yen's discipline was deeply rooted in authentic martial practice, which later set him apart in the film industry. Growing up in Boston, Yen was exposed to a wide range of influences: the multicultural environment, American pop culture, and a growing enthusiasm for martial arts brought on by Western interest in kung fu cinema. Anecdotal accounts from supporters and fans note that Yen was not always a serene martial artist in his youth. Instead, he blended rigorous formal training with a willingness to test his abilities in real-world confrontation, occasionally leading to minor conflicts in his teenage years. These experiences were not glorified, but instead helped shape his practical understanding of fighting dynamics outside controlled environments. In addition to his mother's tutelage, Yen pursued training in other disciplines like Wushu, which he studied intensively. Wushu, a modern exhibition sport featuring dynamic kicking, jumping, and weaponry forms, became a major touchpoint in his development as a martial artist. Training with elite instructors, combined with exposure to Western athletic culture, gave Yen a hybrid perspective on martial expression that would later inform his unique choreography style in film. Yen's entry into the film industry was as humble as it was ambitious. After showing his physical skills in demonstrations and auditions, he caught the attention of one of cinema's most renowned action choreographers. At age 18, while visiting Hong Kong, Yen auditioned for Yuen Woo-ping, one of the masters of action choreography who would later become famous for iconic work in films such as The Matrix and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yuen Woo-ping recognized Yen's potential and cast him in the 1984 Hong Kong action film Drunken Tai Chi, marking Yen's first starring role. Although not a blockbuster in the global sense, Drunken Tai Chi was a critical stepping stone in Yen's emerging film career. The role displayed his athleticism and ability to integrate genuine martial arts with choreography designed for cinematic impact. This early work featured Yen performing authentic martial movements and even showcased his rhythm and agility in memorable physical sequences. The film successfully demonstrated that Yen could deliver convincing action while maintaining on-screen presence, a key factor that would ensure he remained a part of Hong Kong's growing action cinema renaissance. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, Donnie Yen continued to appear in a succession of action films, honing his craft and building a reputation as one of the era's most promising martial actors. Yen's breakthrough came with a standout role as the antagonist General Napoleon in Once Upon a Time in China 2, a critically acclaimed film starring Jet Li as the legendary martial artist Wang Feiheng. This role, while villainous, was significant in that it pushed Yen into the spotlight, showcasing his ability to take on intense, high-stakes characters who could hold their own against leading stars. Donnie Yen's versatility continued with prominent roles in Iron Monkey and Wing Chun, the latter being particularly noteworthy for its focus on a lesser-publicized form of kung fu. These films celebrated traditional Chinese martial art styles while emphasizing character-driven storytelling. These roles helped establish Yen not just as a physical performer, but as a martial artist who respected historical legacies and narrative depth. In 1997, Yen took a significant professional leap by directing and starring in Legend of the Wolf. This marked his first effort behind the camera, an early indication of his desire to shape the films he was part of, not just perform in them. While not a box office phenomenon, Legend of the Wolf demonstrated Yen's creative ambitions and commitment to expanding his artistic voice. Yen's first major exposure to Western cinema came with Highlander, Endgame in 2000, introducing him to a broader audience beyond Asia. Although the film itself received mixed reviews, Yen's performance garnered attention for its physical intensity and screen presence. His cameo role in Blade 2 became another step in bridging between Hong Kong and Western filmmaking. Around this time, his own production company, Bullet Films, began choreographing action for major Western films such as Blade 2 and Stormbreaker. This behind-the-scenes work expanded his influence in Hollywood, solidifying his reputation not only as a performer, but also as an action designer capable of contributing to global blockbusters. Over the next decade and more, Donnie Yen continued to expand his filmography both in Asia and internationally. Shanghai Nights, a Hollywood comedy action film starring Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, Hero, a critically acclaimed wuxia masterpiece where Yen delivered a memorable performance alongside Jet Li, SPL, Sha Pulang, and Flashpoint crime thrillers known for their gritty, realistic fight choreography. 14 Blades and wuxia films that combined action with strong historical and narrative elements. Donnie Yen's portrayal of Wing Chun master Ip Man beginning in 2008 was a career-defining moment. The series, which includes Ip Man 2, Ip Man 3, and Ip Man 4, the finale introduced millions around the world to the essence of Wing Chun and elevated Ip Man's story to international legend. Yen's performance was more than physical action. It conveyed the philosophy of discipline, humility, and cultural heritage, connecting deeply with audiences who saw in Ip Man a mentor figure and a bridge between tradition and modern identity. In the mid-2010s and beyond, Yen made notable appearances in major Hollywood productions. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Yen portrayed Chirrut Imwe, a blind warrior monk whose spiritual strength and martial focus added depth to the Star Wars universe. XXX, Return of Xander Cage, a high-octane action sequel. Mulan, Disney's live-action adaptation, where Yen played a respected commander. John Wick, chapter for appearing as martial assassin Kane, further cementing his relevance in global action franchises. Donnie Yen's style is distinctive for blending traditional martial arts such as Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and Wushu with contemporary combat influences like mixed martial arts and cinematic kinetic rhythm. Yen believes in choreography grounded in authentic physicality, preferring practical effects, real stunts, and disciplined precision over CGI illusions wherever possible. This approach gives his fight sequences an organic emotional resonance, not often seen in modern action cinema. Donnie Yen's personal life includes marriages and fatherhood. He has 3 children. He has also continued to promote martial arts and cultural exchange through his films, public appearances, and mentorship of new talent. In March 2023, Yen was appointed as a member of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, reflecting his influence not only as an entertainer, but as a public figure involved in cultural dialogues. Donnie Yen's story is one of discipline, cultural fusion, and persistent reinvention. From his early training under his mother's guidance to becoming a martial arts ambassador for global cinema, every chapter of his life, from street testing to blockbuster leading roles, reflects a commitment to truth in physical expression. Whether playing legendary figures like Ip Man, defending galaxies in science fiction epics, or choreographing brutal, breathtaking fight scenes, Yen remains a towering presence in action cinema. His legacy endures not simply through box office numbers